Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello, my name is Emma. You guys should definitely hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you guys follow me on Instagram because that's where I'm like the most active. It's my favorite social media platform because I feel like I just get to interact with you guys a little bit more, and I get to kind of share my passion for photography, so be sure to follow me on there. So for today's video, I am going to be doing a personal Q&A, and I've seen quite a few people do this recently, and I absolutely love the idea because I feel like it just gives us an opportunity to be transparent and vulnerable with you guys, to form a deeper connection, and give our advice from our experiences in life and all that kind of stuff. So I asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram, so I'm going to be answering those. I'm probably only going to get around to like 3 to 5 or something because they are on the deeper side, obviously, and I feel like I could just like talk about some of these for a while, so we'll see how it goes, but just a little warning. Okay, so the first question is, what values in your life are most important to you? And honestly, before I read this question, I really hadn't thought about it that much. Obviously there are, attributes and certain aspects of someone or even like myself that I hold more valuable than others. So I compiled a little bit of a list. So my first one is creativity. I'm not the most creative person, but I think with YouTube along with Instagram, it allows me to have a creative outlet, and I really appreciate creativity and kind of thinking outside of the box. The next one is adventure, hands down, probably my top one. I love traveling. I love seeing new places and cities and meeting new people, just being immersed in different cultures. I just think it's so good for an individual to experience that because it does force them to grow and to step outside of their comfort zone, and this world is incredibly beautiful. So my next one is respect. This has always been a big one for me. I definitely do like challenge authority at times, but I think it's very important to do so in a respectful way and to always be respectful towards everyone despite their age or socioeconomic status or the education level. I think it's just really important to be respectful with just everything you do and say. My next one is growth. This has been a big one for me over the last year or so. I think growth is so important, and focusing on yourself, bettering yourself, that way you can be a better human to those around you. My next one is happiness. I have been trying to work on this and just finding things and people that make me happy. And if something doesn't make me happy, then it's okay to like kind of let go of that, because I just think that happiness is faked a lot of the time, and I really want to have like a genuine happiness for my life and my family, my friends, just everything. My next one is open-mindedness. I think this is super important, and I feel like right now in our society so many people are just like stuck that they have the truth and that their way is the best way, and they're not really willing to kind of switch sides and understand another person's perspective. So I think just being open-minded and kind of willing to hear things that may challenge your beliefs, I just think that that's a really important quality to have, and I feel like most people in America at least are very closed-minded, and they're not willing to just like switch sides and try and understand somebody and how they arrived at their beliefs and their worldview and stuff like that. And my last one, I realize I have a lot, is optimism. I feel as though I am very optimistic, and there are obviously things in my life that I'm struggling with and I'm trying to figure out, as is everyone, so I think it's just really important to be optimistic and to just kind of understand that where you are right now is not where you're always going to be, and that you're gonna push through and you're gonna figure it out, and it might take some time, but that's okay. So yeah, optimism is just, it's another very important quality. Okay, the next question is, what's something you wish you had known before you went through high school? So in my experience, I would say like 16, 17, and 18 were some of my hardest years. And I feel like that's just because you're really just trying to figure out who you are, what you want to do with your life, what things make you happy, what things make you angry or irritated. You're just kind of trying to figure everything out. So I feel like knowing that high school is going to be very difficult, you should definitely surround yourself with good friends who are going to uplift you. They're positive. You can, just have fun with them, be yourself around them. That's very important. So have a good solid group of friends, and also don't forget about your family. I feel like I've always kind of stuck close to my family, but I feel like a lot of people in high school just like don't like their mom or don't like their dad or their siblings, and I feel like you just still want to stay close and make sure you're connected with your family, because once you like hit college and after graduation, like you realize just how much your family means to you and how important they are. So yeah, just stay close to your family, find a good group of friends, find an extracurricular activity that you enjoy and that makes you happy, and that'll kind of help make those difficult years a little bit easier. Okay, the next question is, have you ever struggled with body image? And yes, I have. I wouldn't say I like very seriously struggled with it, but I definitely have a couple things about myself and my body and my physical appearance that I don't like, but I think everyone does, and everyone wishes that, they didn't have this or they had this or they looked like her. So my struggle has been with my height. I'm actually 5'9", almost 5'10", so growing up I like literally towered over my friends and so many people, and some of the first things people would say to me was, oh my gosh, you're so tall, you're so tall, you're so tall. And when you hear like everyone saying that, like it kind of can create, I don't know, you just become uncomfortable with that. So I still do it today because it's just like a habit, is I would hunch over, like whether I was standing, sitting, whatever, I would hunch over because that would make me shorter. And so that's kind of how I dealt with that, which I think it was okay. I don't like have any major issues with my height. I definitely have kind of grown out of it, pun intended. So it's not as big of an issue for me anymore. And I would never like wear heels either, like just to dances. I would buy sandals because I didn't want to be taller than I already was. So I think just kind of knowing that you might be insecure with it right now, but in a few years you won't be anymore, and it might be something else, it might be nothing, but it's just kind of part of like our human nature, I think, that we find things that we don't like and we compare ourselves to other people. And I think that's okay so long as you don't let it consume you. So as long as you're trying to kind of better yourself from that, I think that is kind of the only way to like really move on and get past your insecurity. This next one I really love. It's, what do you do when you find yourself in a bad place mentally to bring yourself back to a better state of mind? And I will be honest, there are times when I get into a super awful funk and it's really hard for me to break out of it. I can just be like really irritated. I don't talk a lot. I just have like all these thoughts running through my mind. So I have a couple tips, and this is what I've done. One I think would be to see a therapist. If it's really a big issue, go talk to somebody. If you don't feel comfortable talking to your friends or your family, go talk to a third party and they're gonna help you through that. And I did do that for a couple of years and that definitely helped me. But my biggest one right now is journaling. I just will write everything down. If I am just all in my head, then I just start writing, and it feels so good just to like get it out. And I think it's also really cool to look back and see where you were and how far you've come and how you've beaten problems, or you're going through things and you're like, hey, I solved that. And so I think journaling is just the best, probably the best alternative compared to actually like talking to someone. How do you think you've changed since going from being homeschooled to college? And I kind of find a lot of similarities between college and homeschooling actually, which may be surprising, but I think being a commuter at college, so I don't actually live on campus, it's very similar because I go to class, I come home, and I do my homework, which is kind of how it was for high school. So I feel like not really a ton has changed except for like my personal like beliefs and all that kind of stuff. But like school work wise, it not much has changed, I don't think. I kind of thought college would be more intense and difficult than what it is, but I've had 2 fairly easy semesters, and maybe that's just because they're mostly gen eds, or my major, communication, it's a pretty easy major, so that might be part of it too. I think academically not much has changed, but I have changed a lot. I feel like I kind of explained it in the coming back video that I did, which I'll link down below if you guys want to watch it. I just kind of explained like what has been happening over the course of the year that I was gone and all that kind of stuff. That is all of the questions for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I love just sitting down and getting like to share my worldview and opinions with you. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about me. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I will try to respond. I usually respond to like everyone's comments. So if you have any questions, leave them down there. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram. You guys can also DM me if you don't want the conversation to be public. Feel free to DM me any of your questions too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video again, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!